Oh my God, you're such a fucking liar. They were told, in no uncertain terms, they were going to get the Steve Bannon treatment. You don't show up to comply with a subpoena, you go to prison, and they folded like a cheap tent.
The Epstein scandal didn't just leave questions behind. It left fear. Quiet fear. The kind that doesn't show up in public statements or courtroom cameras, but behind closed doors, inside private phone calls, and in the silence of people who suddenly stopped talking. Because once the world realized how connected Jeffrey Epstein was to powerful names in entertainment, politics, and business, the conversation changed forever.
Here's Bill Clinton, who just offered an opening statement before his testimony. Would you listen to this? As someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, okay. Not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes, not sweetheart deals. Sure, Jan. The reason I'm here is that the girls and women whose lives Jeffrey Epstein destroyed deserve not only justice, but healing. Okay. You and your crazy-ass wife used George Stephanopoulos and James Carville to create whole war rooms to destroy the young women who are accusing you of far less than Jeffrey Epstein was ever accused of. You destroyed them. You organized massive PR campaigns to undermine their credibility, woman after woman after woman, who we now know were telling the truth, and who I certainly believe were telling the truth about you. Kathleen Willey is one. Juanita Broderick is another. Paula Jones is another. Jennifer Flowers is another. So just fucking spare me that you now really have a lot of concern about the women and girls allegedly caught up in the Epstein web. The reason I'm here is the girls and women whose lives Epstein destroyed deserve justice and healing. Oh my God, you're such a fucking liar. This guy just wrote in his stupid letter trying to get out of this deposition, along with his wife, co-signed literally by his wife, there comes a time in every person's life where they have to decide if they're going to roll over for this fascistic government or whether they're prepared to fight. That time for us is now. They were ready. They wanted to be martyred. We are going to fight this administration. We have no information on Epstein. This is just a complete bully job.
And according to Megyn Kelly, that fear still hasn't gone away. What started as one criminal case slowly turned into something much bigger. Bigger than headlines, bigger than celebrity gossip, bigger than Hollywood itself. Because the more documents surfaced, the more people began asking the same uncomfortable question. If Epstein had relationships with some of the most powerful people in the world, then how much of the story still hasn't been revealed? And that's exactly why Megyn Kelly's comments started getting so much attention online. She didn't come out claiming every celebrity was guilty. She didn't start naming random people without evidence. But what she did do was push the conversation that many media outlets seemed afraid to fully touch. She questioned how deep the connections really went. She questioned why certain names kept appearing around Epstein's world. And most importantly, she questioned whether accountability had truly reached everyone involved. That's where the tension started building.
Her name is Lisa Phillips again, and it's SOT 50.
Several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay, so I say good for them. This is like the actual men who are in Epstein's circle. This is their worst nightmare because not all of them are pedophiles. some of them just knew Epstein. I mean, I think Trump is in that category. I think Alan Dershowitz is in that category. Eventually, Steve Bannon was kind of in that category because he was advising Epstein to some extent after he, got in trouble. I don't think these people did anything wrong morally, in terms of the girls. But, if the list is now up to the survivors of like who was in his orbit a lot, because the real officials won't tell us the names of those who have been actually accused of bad actions, I'm not surprised the women are taking control of the situation. And I think this is going to be an even worse outcome for men who are potentially innocent of wrongdoing. Alan has been totally exonerated on those accusations. He disproved this woman's accusations with actual receipts and plane tickets and so on. None of it held up. And ultimately, not surprisingly, she withdrew her suit against him and confessed she may have confused him with someone else. We reached out to him about this soundbite, and he said, "I did not talk about a client list. There are redacted statements in the FBI's file by the accuser, the same woman who accused me, Virginia Giuffre. In her statement to the FBI, she never mentioned me because she never heard of me. She didn't know me. But in the statement to the FBI, she did accuse a bunch of other people, and their names are in the report. But the report has been redacted. That's been censored, kept secret. I've seen it, however. I do know who's in that list. And I know a couple of other people who have been accused as well. I don't know whether or not they actually did anything wrong. I know they were accused mostly by the same woman who falsely accused me." We're talking about Virginia Giuffre. And one of the things that's been suppressed is all the information that is negative to the accusers, the information that proves the accusers made up the stories. So it's much more complicated. There's no client list, he says. There are names of people who are accused, and there are names of people who falsely accuse them. It's a redacted FBI report in which Virginia Giuffre names people, and I know who the people are, and the court has kept the list secret and has refused to unredact the list.
Because once people hear words like sealed documents, flight logs, and court records, the public imagination takes over fast. Suddenly, every celebrity photo, every old interview, every resurfaced party clip starts getting looked at differently. And for some public figures, that attention became overwhelming, almost overnight. But here's the thing people often forget. Before Epstein became one of the most infamous criminals in modern history, he spent years moving comfortably around elite circles. He wasn't hiding in the shadows. He was attending events, meeting billionaires, socializing with celebrities, and building relationships that stretched across multiple industries. For years, many people viewed him as wealthy, connected, and influential. That image protected him longer than it should have. And that's part of what makes this story so disturbing. Because when the truth finally exploded into public view, it forced people to confront a painful reality. Power can create silence, fame can create protection, and influence can make people look the other way far longer than they should. Megyn Kelly has repeatedly pointed toward that exact issue. In her view, the Epstein scandal wasn't just about one man committing crimes. It exposed an entire culture of access and privilege, a culture where wealthy people could operate in spaces ordinary people never could. And once that idea entered public conversation, trust started collapsing fast. What nobody expected was how emotionally charged the public reaction would become years later. Every time new files surfaced, social media exploded again. Every time another document was unsealed, the internet immediately started analyzing names, photos, and old connections. Some discussions stayed grounded in confirmed facts. Others spiraled into pure speculation. And that's where things became dangerous. Because in cases this massive, the line between verified information and online rumor gets blurry very quickly. Megyn Kelly herself has acknowledged that difference. She's emphasized that being mentioned in documents or appearing in photos does not automatically mean criminal guilt. Legal accountability requires evidence, investigations, and actual charges. But at the same time, she argues that the public still has a right to ask difficult questions about how Epstein gained so much access for so long. And honestly, that question continues haunting Hollywood. Because the Epstein scandal arrived during a time when the public was already losing trust in powerful institutions. People were already questioning celebrities, media companies, and political elites. Then suddenly this case appeared, revealing connections that sounded almost impossible to believe. Luxury islands, private jets, secretive social circles, billionaires mixing with famous entertainers and politicians. It felt less like reality and more like a movie script. Except this wasn't fiction, this was real life, and the emotional impact of that realization hit people hard. For some celebrities, even indirect association became enough to damage public perception. Careers faced scrutiny, interviews became uncomfortable, old friendships were re-examined, and in today's digital world, public opinion moves faster than any courtroom ever could. That's something Megyn Kelly has talked about repeatedly. She points out that legal systems move slowly, but internet narratives move instantly. By the time investigations catch up, public judgment often feels already decided. And once someone's name starts trending alongside a scandal this massive, the damage can become permanent, whether charges exist or not. But here's the twist. The more people demanded answers, the more complicated the conversation became. Because while some individuals connected to Epstein faced legal consequences, many others never faced charges at all. That created frustration. People started feeling like they were only seeing part of the story. They wondered whether powerful names were being protected. They questioned whether wealth and influence still mattered behind the scenes.
Megyn Kelly leaned directly into those concerns. She argued that the public shouldn't simply accept silence as closure. She questioned whether investigators had truly uncovered every detail. And she emphasized that large scandals often unfold over many years, not all at once. More lawsuits emerge, more witnesses speak, more documents appear, and each new development reignites public suspicion. That cycle is exactly why this story refuses to disappear. Even now, years after Epstein's death, the case still dominates conversations online because emotionally, people feel unresolved. They feel like there are still missing pieces. They feel like accountability may not be complete. And when people feel powerful individuals escape consequences, anger grows quickly. What makes this even more emotional is how many victims were affected by Epstein's crimes. Behind every headline and every celebrity rumor are real people whose lives were permanently changed. That's something that often gets lost once internet speculation takes over. Megyn Kelly has stressed that point as well. She's argued that the focus should remain on facts, evidence, and actual accountability instead of turning the entire story into entertainment. Because once the conversation becomes fueled only by conspiracy theories and viral clips, the truth becomes harder to find. Still, public fascination continues growing. Partly because people are trying to understand how someone like Epstein operated openly for so long, but partly because the scandal shattered a fantasy many people once believed about fame and power. For years, celebrities represented glamour, success, and admiration. Then, scandals like this forced audiences to ask whether some of those worlds were hiding darker realities beneath the surface. That emotional shift changed celebrity culture forever. People no longer automatically trust polished public images the way they once did. Every interview gets analyzed differently now. Every resurfaced clip becomes potential evidence in the eyes of the internet, and every silence from powerful figures gets interpreted as suspicious by somebody online. That's the atmosphere Megyn Kelly keeps describing. Not necessarily a world where everyone is guilty, but a world where public trust has been deeply damaged. And honestly, rebuilding that trust may take years. Because the Epstein scandal didn't just expose criminal behavior, it exposed how fragile public confidence really is. Once people believe powerful individuals operate by different rules, skepticism spreads everywhere. Suddenly, every institution feels questionable. Every elite connection feels suspicious. Every unanswered question becomes fuel for another wave of speculation. That emotional pressure affects everyone connected to the story in different ways. Some celebrities have spent years trying to distance themselves from any association. Others have remained silent completely. Some faced aggressive public backlash despite never being charged with wrongdoing. And for victims watching all of this unfold publicly, the experience can feel exhausting and painful all over again. That's why this story still carries so much emotional weight. Because underneath all the headlines, all the viral clips, and all the internet debates is a deeper issue people are wrestling with: accountability, fairness, truth. People want to believe that power doesn't place someone above consequences. They want to believe justice applies equally to everyone. And when cases like Epstein create uncertainty around that belief, frustration explodes. Megyn Kelly understands that frustration, which is why her commentary continues gaining attention. She taps into what millions of people are already thinking. She asks the uncomfortable questions many viewers feel mainstream media avoids. But at the same time, she repeatedly reminds audiences about the importance of evidence and confirmed facts. That balance matters, because there's a difference between questioning powerful systems and accusing individuals without proof. One pushes accountability forward, the other risks creating chaos based purely on speculation. And in today's internet culture, that line gets crossed constantly. What nobody expected was how long this scandal would continue shaping conversations years later. Most celebrity controversies disappear after a few weeks. This one didn't. Every new document, every lawsuit, every interview keeps reopening public debate again and again. That alone tells you how deeply this case affected society. People aren't just reacting to one criminal investigation anymore. They're reacting to what the scandal symbolized: hidden power, elite access, influence operating behind closed doors, and whether the full truth will ever actually become public. That uncertainty keeps the story alive. And maybe that's the biggest reason why Megyn Kelly's commentary resonates with so many viewers right now. Not because she claims to have every answer, but because she reflects the tension millions of people still feel, the feeling that the story may not be completely over yet. Whether future investigations uncover more information or not, one thing is already undeniable. The Epstein scandal permanently changed how the public sees fame, influence, and accountability. It changed how people view celebrity culture itself. Because now, audiences don't just watch public figures for entertainment anymore. They watch with suspicion, with questions, with caution. And once that trust breaks, rebuilding it becomes almost impossible. That's why this conversation continues spreading across media, podcasts, interviews, and social platforms even today. People are still searching for clarity, still searching for answers, still trying to understand how something this massive happened in plain sight for so long. And until every question feels answered, the pressure surrounding this case probably won't disappear anytime soon. If you want more deep breakdowns on the biggest celebrity scandals, public reactions, and the truth behind viral headlines, make sure you stay tuned, because in stories like this, the loudest rumors aren't always the real story, and sometimes the most important details are the ones people are still afraid to talk about. And maybe that's the part of this story that still makes people uncomfortable. Not just the names, not just the headlines, but the fact that so many questions are still hanging in the air. Because when a scandal reaches this level, it doesn't simply disappear. It leaves people wondering who knew what, who stayed silent, and whether the full truth will ever actually become public.
Megyn Kelly's comments tapped directly into that feeling, the feeling that the public still hasn't seen the complete picture. And whether people agree with her or not, one thing is clear: the Epstein case changed the way millions of people look at power, celebrity culture, and accountability forever. What once looked glamorous from the outside now feels a lot more complicated. Fans don't just see red carpets and interviews anymore. They see connections, influence, and unanswered questions. And in today's world, public trust can disappear faster than ever. But at the same time, this story is also a reminder that facts matter, evidence matters, and real justice can't be built on rumors alone. That's why this conversation continues to grow, because people want clarity, not confusion. They want answers, not distractions. And honestly, this story may still be far from over. So what do you think? Will more shocking details eventually come out, or has the public already seen the biggest part of the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is definitely not slowing down anytime soon. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest celebrity stories, scandals, and breaking updates everyone will be talking about next.